and welcome back everyone for another PKIdeas shorts video, the 11th one in the series and the 10th one for this year. Today what we're going to look at is a game between Alekhine and Feldt. This game was played in Odessa Sim in 1916, and so the game started off with first move e4 followed by e6, after which Alekhine replied by playing d4, d5, knight c3, knight f6. Now this is a variation in the popular French defense, and so what Alekhine played in this position was e takes d5, knight takes d5, knight to e4, and now black played the bad move of playing f5. f5 is a bad move mainly because it opens up this diagonal over here towards the king. As we can see, one of the major pieces of white, the white queen over here, can quickly get onto this diagonal by playing queen to h5. So therefore f5 is a bad positional move. After which white replied by playing knight to g5. We see here that he is attacking the f7 square, one of the weakest squares in the chessboard. And so attacking this square means that there will be an attack coming up straight on that square. After which Feldt played bishop to e7. After bishop to e7, Alekhine played knight 5 to f3. He moved his knight back because his knight, as you can see before, was attacked by two pieces and was only defended by the light squared bishop. And so c6 was played. Knight to e5. The knight once again goes to this square, which once again attacks f7. Now notice here that the knight cannot be chased away by a pawn. Therefore the square on e5 is known as an outpost. An outpost is a square where you can place any of your minor pieces or major pieces without getting chased by a pawn. And so castles was played by black, which is quite a wise move because he is guarding his king. After which knight g to f3, white is bringing another piece into the action. b6, bishop d3, bishop b7, castles, and now rook to e8 was played. Now rook to e8 in my opinion is not that much of a good move. The reason is because his bishop over here and his knight over here are not that much in the play. Therefore probably a move like c5 would have been better, opening up the bishop to over here and probably making space for the knight. And so rook e8 was played, unfortunately, and so c4 was played. Knight f6, bishop f4, knight bd7, queen e2, and c5 is played. Here in this position, we see that all of white's pieces are developed. However, this rook over here is not that much developed. Also, white has a lot of space in this position. As you can see, he has two center pawns, which is taking up space over here, and it gives freedom for white's pieces to move. As we see in this position, black's pieces do not have that much freedom to move. This rook is a bit cramped with only having one square to go to. This knight is a bit cramped, having only two squares to go to, and they're both backwards. And this bishop is cramped, only having two squares to go to as well. Now in this position, we see that white has more space and therefore more piece activity, which means now he is ready to start the conflict. Therefore what Alekhine played was knight to f7. After knight to f7, this is an excellent move. So what I want you to do now after king takes f7 is stop the video for a second and try to find the checkmate that Alekhine played. Alright, so the move is queen takes e6, exclamation mark. Here in the position, the king can't take on e6 because of knight to g5 checkmate. An amazing checkmate where the king cannot go backwards and he is stuck in the center. So in this position, if for example the king plays to f8, once again knight g5 threatening queen to f7, checkmate, an unstoppable mating attack. And so the best sort of move here is king to g6. Now here in this position, if you calculated this, well done. The move that Alekhine played is g4. What g4 does is that it creates checkmate threats everywhere. It creates the checkmate threat of bishop takes pawn and the checkmate threat of knight to h4. Unfortunately, Feldt could only stop one. He played bishop to e4, after which Alekhine played knight to h4, checkmate. And so this was an amazing game by Alekhine, who knows perfectly when to attack and knows how quickly to develop his pieces. The thing to learn from this game is that development is very important. Without development, your pieces will have no mobility, as we saw in black's position over here. If you look at black's position right now, his bishop's doing nothing, his knight's doing nothing, his rook's doing nothing, queen's doing nothing, his other rook's doing nothing. The only pieces that are doing something in this position are his bishop over here and his knight over here. Otherwise, this position is absolutely worthless for black. And due to the fact that it's checkmate, it's already worthless for black. And so, if you want to learn more about attacking chess, I suggest that Alekhine's games are the place to go to. So that being said, if you enjoyed that game, please go down below, hit that like button for me. If you haven't already subscribed to this YouTube channel, please do that as well. And so stay tuned, more videos of Alekhine's and other great chess players will be coming out weekly on Thursdays. And so with that being said, thank you, and I'll see you next time.
Shouldn't be crying, tears were for the weaker days. I'm stronger now, so I say, but something's missing.